Yo. What's up, my Jobbers? We're back. I figured out the puzzle. It's kind of really hard, actually. Okay. What is this room? Looks nice and peaceful.
So that seems to be it, right?
Yep.
You walk down a corridor, you solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Whoa. It's not just that, it's that he put all this time
There was
into
more
it.
to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
I have no idea. Back to this game again. You are now
Aha! So,
exiting.
this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
I like this game. I like it a lot. Just things like this, when people are trying so hard to make a game, they don't know they're actually doing good, and they are. What is this? Oh, is this a restaurant? Is this a restaurant? Looks like a restaurant.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Streetwise
to make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
I fell.
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
This is amazing. What is this supposed to be? AKA stables? What do I do? What am I doing? I feel like I did something wrong. Snap! That scared me. You don't think this game is supposed to be about jump scares? Like, no. This is a prison, isn't it? It has to be a prison.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Okay.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere.
Well, that's a nice friend. That is a very nice friend who does that for another friend to actually look at their games. Oh, what is this? Oh,
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But
That's
I
pretty cool.
promise I'll share with you my
Surprise, like-
interpretation very shortly.
I hope we get to meet Coda in this game. That would be very nice. You there? Did you come from
Here,
up
Coda
above?
begins using a kind of
What
dialogue
was up
system
there?
that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
3. Yeah, I did. Again, perfect. Now, please tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. I don't remember how. I didn't solve it. Someone else let me in. Trust me, you don't want to go over there. 3. Because there's no other good one than that. Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get to there. Do you understand? It is the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you, there is nothing I want more. Just let me tell them. Ooh. Hello, how did you get there? There's a post you had to pass through. Yes. No, we actually find more interesting. Have you seen it yet? Okay, 1. Why would I care about the space between the doors? There's a reason, but it may take time before you understand, which is fine. You'll see it again soon. Okay.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
That sounds nice. I feel like this guy is doing very good with his games. Very good, I said very good.
It's a lamppost.
Yep.
Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out.
Okay.
I'll tell you
Gotcha.
what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Sounds good. That's actually a really good designed lamppost. I have to tell you. This guy's doing A plus work. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All the notes you see are left by other players. But no one else played this. Nice room, not.
So first off, I'm sure you can
How do you
deduce
beat
this,
this-
but this
how do
game
you
is
beat
not
this
connected
game?
to the internet.
No
All
point
of the
to
notes
this.
that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend
Oh,
game
holy-
jam in Sacramento,
Yeah, I'm not
where
gonna
I
say
grew
that.
up. I saw him
Can
working
you
on
guys
this
hear
very
me?
level.
I can.
And it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing.
Hello?
So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this
Reasonable.
person. In retrospect, I think
Wanna
I was
read this?
probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his
Hey.
attention. I was
This
over
place
enthusiastic.
makes me sad.
But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me.
I want to tell you
And I
what's
cooled
going
off
on.
eventually.
I did.
Oh, feel
Fine,
free to
fine.
skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you.
False.
Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they can be a
House
sense
of
of
wooden grass
loneliness.
and concrete.
I see this
Hero.
person who's filled with
WTF.
thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to
don't
express
say that.
them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played. But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
I feel bad for this guy. He's gonna be so alone. New room. Do you hear the chimes? They keep you going, don't they? I would like very much to be desired. It's not very crowded here. Hey, don't bother. This is where I get off. I failed to write anything here. It's a beautiful painting. Beautiful painting. Doesn't that matter if you get over there? Wow. Oh, just games like this touch your heart, man. Touch your heart. If I don't touch it, just makes you feel bad about the guy that he had to spend all this time just alone. Sad. I don't know if that's the way he felt, but I'm just gonna skip all these because if you guys ever do get the game, you guys can read them. Now this is something. This is something. How long is this gonna go on?
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games
Okay.
represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back
Oh, what
and
is that
connect
noise?
pieces together. To grasp
It's a
at that
typewriter.
elusive bigger picture.
Shut up, typewriter. Oh, it's so annoying. Oh, there's a lamppost. Beautiful lamppost. Let's type in anything. I'm gonna touch all you guys' lampposts. Not lampposts. I can't even play this game without
Okay, this one is
like
tough.
tearing
It's
up.
gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
This is supposed to be, I guess, a jail. A very nice, comfy jail. Can I sit down? What's this room? This is an odd room. I love you guys, my Mumbo Jobos. Keep on playing the games and always have fun with them. And bye. Boo boo.